Welcome, Capricorn, to your mid-February general reading. So this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You know, you probably listen to other readers who say the same thing, so you get it by now, but just in case. So with that said, if you would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, just go to the description box below, check out the link to book a session. I'd be happy to see ya. Aside from that, there's also information about the decks that I am using in this reading, as well as a link to check out my new tarot class. It is subscription-based. You can drop in, drop out at any time. There's no commitment. It is a tarot intensive with the goal at the end of it to become A, a better storyteller, and B, to basically create your own tarot or other divination deck if you so choose. That part is optional. So it's called Total Tarot. Check it out. I'm really excited about it. Been working on it since last August. But otherwise, let's hop into it, okay? All right, let's see. I'm going to pull some cards from the Swatches of Chakra deck just to get a little color into the reading, because that's always fun for me. All right, so we're going to pull 3 cards to get us started. Okay, so we have truth, talking about our throat chakra here, self-esteem, that's solar plexus, and finances, that's our root. So it's time to get grounded. It's time to speak out what you want and what you need in order to feel supported and happy and secure. And Capricorn, you are all about your money. You are all about your money, about your business. And, people expect that from you. But what they don't expect is that sometimes, you're not always going to go with the sure thing. Because sometimes the tried and true and tested doesn't always pan out, especially in times where things are changing like they are now. And you may have had kind of a knock to your confidence lately, been realizing a few things in terms of maybe how you manage your finances. And, with Saturn, your ruler, in your house for the past 3 years. Oh my gosh, I know. I was having my Saturn return. It was brutal, but I learned so much about my resources and not just money. A lot of it had to do with my energy, with my ideas, the way that I do seek to innovate spaces. So anyways, before I get too far into it, let's go a little bit deeper. Feel like it's time for you to move forward and choose a more creative path. That's one thing that I am picking up on here. Let's see. Kind of get your hands a little dirty here. In the dirt, there's lots of wonderful things that allow many wonderful natural things to grow, without having to do too much later on, except observe, tend, prune, right? And I feel like that's the kind of opportunity that you're coming into. If you choose to get creative, choose to do something a little innovative moving forward, it's going to be some dirty, hard work at the beginning, but the fruits of your labor, it's just going to kind of run itself. I'm kind of feeling that. Not like an automation type thing, but just like the nature of it, the pace of it, the feeling of it is going to help you achieve that kind of lifestyle that you want. Because all work and no play makes for a very dull person. Trust me, I've lived it. So with truth, we have peace. And this is the Prism Oracle deck. So you're really coming to terms with certain truths about yourself, about your work ethic, about how you approach work. This could also be like with any type of relationship, but your relationship to your finances and how you build and grow all of your resources, I feel like. And so you're learning to make peace with where you're at now and realizing the truth of your own habits and whether they are helping or hindering you. And your self-worth does get really tied up in your earnings. I get it. We're human. That is a very human thing to have happen. So we have caution. Now the self-esteem card did come reversed, so we have the caution with it, which is also a yellow card. So it's like, really pay attention when you start to go down that slippery slope of attempting to please others, because it's very important to make sure that you're pleased with what you're doing, that you're feeling good about what you're putting out into the world, and that you feel good when you're doing it. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to take a breather, take a breather. If you don't want to do this and this and this, figure out a way to delegate it out and choose the types of things that you're available for. Choose the tasks that you're available for, the projects you're available for. You may have certain offers come in that you're excited at first because you're like, oh, this is a chance for me to build up some wealth maybe, and if not wealth, at least a little pocket money to, take care of a few things. But your enthusiasm may dwindle. I will say that. Yeah, your enthusiasm may dwindle because you're like, all right, you're going back to your intentions and you're like, would I really enjoy doing this? Does this feel good to me? Does this excite me? No, not so much. Like, A, it's probably not even a very challenging thing. B, it's probably a waste of your time. And C, you're just doing it for the money. So release any of those circumstances where you're just doing it for the money. Now I get it. Sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes we just have to do things in order to make it by. But if you have options, other things are going on. Don't be greedy and try to take on everything at once, overloading yourself. Do what feels good. Really build that out. Give it your full attention, focus, and heart here. And then with finances, we have movement. So you may be changing kind of where you settle down and build your financial security. I'm also sensing that there's movement and a shift maybe in your finances that's causing a lot, that's making you feel valued, because we have green. I'm also associating that with the heart chakra. And it's making you feel, it's putting you in a place where you feel valued, where you feel good, where the world's kind of opening up in a way again, and you don't have to move through it like a shrewd, business person. So yeah, it's not going to be like some cutthroat type of thing where you're going to have to scrap and scrounge and compete and therefore pressure yourself to perform and to take on all of these tasks and to do all of these things and, show up. Instead, you can participate and enjoy, treat it like a fun project as opposed to some type of punishment. So let's get into some tarot here. We'll go a little bit deeper. And I feel like, I've learned from a few friends and some people that, some friends that actually do acupuncture, that the heart and the solar plexus, there's a point right in the middle called the spirit point, Shen. That's where our spirit resides. And so seeing this yellow and this green come up next with this caution and this movement, it's pay attention to your spirit. What speaks to your spirit? I feel like you're also maybe stepping into more purpose, making peace with yourself, not just wandering around trying to create opportunities. The opportunities are coming, and you now have the opportunity to choose instead of having to always come out of thin air with something. It's like now you're kind of being offered a chance to choose a door instead of having to build it from scratch, right? That's just kind of what I got there. But spirit point, yeah, this is like you're really moving forward in spirit. So with the Peace card and Truth, we have the Empress reverse. So yeah, this definitely tells me that you've been someone who has perhaps been really... So with the Empress, it's creative energy, creative feminine energy. So very receptive, very relaxed, allows things to kind of flow and going with that flow, nurturing things, supporting things. And with this, it feels like that energy is either non-existent or it's been kind of put off, pushed away. There's resistance there to this Empress energy, and you're making peace and recognizing the ways in maybe which you've done that. You haven't allowed yourself to enjoy many pleasures. You're taking on leadership roles have been more a solo affair, or perhaps you've been subject to a lot of people who have shaped you into the person that you would become in terms of your working life, in terms of how you move through things, and in terms of building your finances and security. There's been a lot of pressure there, a lot of negativity there, and a lot of preparing for the worst case scenario. So I feel like a lot of worry, and it's like you're making peace with the fact that that's not really constructive way to move through the world. It's not a very constructive way to create and to build something, especially if you expect it to provide you with the lifestyle that you can enjoy. If you're not building it through enjoyment, it's not going to create any for you. All right, let's pull another card. Oof, these are kind of jumbly. All right. With caution, we have the Nine of Wands. So with caution and self-esteem here, there may be a need to protect oneself, maybe having your guard up in some form or fashion when it comes to certain things. And that's actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that bad things are coming. It's just saying like, hey, pay attention. Hey, slow down. Make sure that you feel good about what you're stepping. Sorry, my video cut out. Make sure you feel good about what you're stepping into, okay? Or else defenses will go right back up. All that stuff you made peace with is going to rear its ugly head again, and then, that's all you got, right? And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, here we are back in this cycle. So be discerning, be watchful, be vigilant, choose differently than what you've done in the past, okay? We're moving in different ways, but at the same time, it's almost like we're kind of walking backwards into the new and like watching all the old stuff, making sure it's not following us as we step back here, because we know there's something safe, like, someone's got our back. It's like one of those trust exercises. Yeah, it's like that. All right, let's pull another card. So with movement and finances, interesting enough, we have the Four of Swords. So here I feel like it's getting into a rhythm, right? Allowing yourself to rest easy. I feel like something more consistent is coming in, something that has a different feel to it, something that allows you the space to feel self-assured, assured in your security enough to take those breaks, enough to get work off of your mind, to not constantly be hustling and grinding and, pushing through, depleting yourself to where your life seems very like one-dimensional, like very like one-pointed. That way you can enjoy all of the other wonderful things that you have or that you've created for yourself and, with others that perhaps aren't related to work, right? Underneath we have the Hanged Man. So here it's like you're entering kind of this new world, and it's almost like you're being kind of born into it, and it's like an upside down. It's like a weird I don't know, like, how do I want to put this? It's almost like you're entering a space that at once just felt like it was a fantasy, right? And it's real now. And so you don't have to remain tethered to any hopes, dreams, or wishes because they're happening here. So now you get to be grounded. You feel safe being grounded and being present now because your nervous system isn't on the fritz. You're not going to be in this fight or flight mode trying to build something and create some type of life for yourself, because you'll see that it's already here. But that is if you choose properly. All right, let's pull another card. All right, we have the Two of Wands reversed, but I really do feel like this wants to be upright. Sometimes I do that. I'm like, and it's interesting. We have a 9 and a 2 on the table. In terms of wands, which is 11, to me, that's like a gateway. It's a master number. To me, it's being right on track. It's also equivalent to the Justice card. In some decks, also the Strength card. So what I'm seeing here is that you're looking out into the world. Your horizons are broadening. is what I can say. It's because whatever is coming in, it's offering you the chance to look at the world differently, look at all different types of possibilities, and have a renewed sense of hope and vitality, and a sense of play. Oh my gosh, a sense of play. You're able to play in work and at rest. And so it's like entering this new level of creativity and authenticity and joy. And joy. All right, let's pull another one. And then we have the Three of Wands. So this is some good progression here. It's like we kind of skipped, the Nine of Wands, we skipped the Ten of Wands, we skipped the, Ace of Wands if we were just kind of going in a cycle in terms of the wand suits. So it's like nothing really has to completely end. You're still kind of doing something in line with what you were hoping to achieve. It's just in a different space, and it's a little accelerated. It's like you put in the karmic effort, the emotional and personal development work to make this happen. And so with this Three of Wands, results are going to come in quickly, and it's going to be so peaceful. And I almost feel like you're going to start maybe like updating your wardrobe or something. It's like something in your physical environment is going to get upgraded. I'm also feeling that too. Something like maybe there's like you have like an eye for design, or being able to see where things kind of fit together. It could be something along those lines as well. But also I feel like your appearance is going to be boosted, whether you're putting in the effort or not. Your aura, your shine is going to be like at full force, like radiant. All right. And that feels really good. So let's clarify these. So I'm going to start off by pulling a card to go beneath this Empress here. We have the Six of Cups reversed. So this is all stuff that's in the past, right? All stuff that's in the past. And I feel like it's kind of like time to move on from all of this. This is a chapter of your life that is closing. You've learned what you've had to learn. That karmic cycle will be complete if you continue to make the right choice. Like you're coming up to finals week right now is like kind of what I'm feeling. If you're not already feeling it, it's fast approaching, especially with this full moon coming up. All right, with the Nine of Wands, we have the Four of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. And so with this, it's like making sure that you are at peace, you are at ease, ever watchful, ever vigilant, okay? And making sure that you pay attention to those that are willing to cultivate and create with you. There are some people that just want to build for themselves, and there are others that are genuinely collaborative. And I feel like you've had difficulties maybe finding that collaborative space because you've come from, this reversed Empress energy where it's working in unnatural ways. It's like it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a team, to build something larger than life, right? Which is something that I feel like you want here. Four of Swords, we have the Page of Swords as well, so that's 5 swords. So it's like there may be you may be preparing to get a little defensive in some regard, because whenever there's change, we get a little and I'm also like ugh. So whenever your concerns are, speak them in a calm, deliberate, work on your communication. Just speak your needs here. Be able to kind of be willing to have some conversations, some back and forth. Don't get defensive. If you're feeling confused or there's missing information, ask questions, fill in those gaps, those holes. You could be finding other opportunities too by doing that. So again, it's like play. That's play, right? You're playing around with the information, what's there, what's not there, instead of, focusing solely on one and being out of balance. King of Cups with the Two of Wands. So it's important. It's very important here. If you are still kind of dealing with some emotional things and having to release some of the stuff from the past, maybe getting a bit overwhelmed or unbalanced, like I said, like there's missing elements. Again, I think it's basically a repetition of what I was saying before. Play with the information, ask questions, get curious, be curious, and don't allow yourself to feel like you're less than because you don't know it all, right? Because there's always room for growth. There's always potential. We're forever students, right? And with the Three of Wands, we have the Star card. So there's a lot of wonderful things coming in, a lot of luck, I feel, a lot of luck. And it's really going to shift the way that you feel about your world, your life, about work itself, about what you do, and what is possible in terms of what you can achieve. This kind of, because the Star comes after the Tower, so whatever Tower moment occurred, it wasn't really a Tower moment. It was just a necessary breakthrough. And so really get your bearings in the space that you're in as stuff comes in, just making sure you're moving at a pace that is sustainable. You're moving at a pace that allows you to remain balanced, to be focused, to rest, to be well-rounded and grounded. I think I'll make that the title of this video. So anyways, this sounds really great. So take your time, all right? Don't go back into old habits and old modes of moving through this world or through your work or through relationships. You've got this. You're learning a different way to be. You're showing up and telling people, hey, you may think Capricorns are like this, but we can also be like this. So it's like you're, really shifting that perspective, that outlook of what, because I have a Cap stellium, so I have several Capricorn placements, and so like it's necessary for us to shift from that workaholic nature, it's like that Piscean thing, in order to move into a more innovative type of work-life balance, growth mindset, and growth mindset means there are seasons. Things change. We adapt. It's not always forward moving. It's non-linear. And especially when you're an entrepreneur and you wear many different hats, that experience is non-linear, because you stop being one thing, taking on one role, doing one type of job or task, and have to switch gears, put on a different hat, and do something else. So it's like, it seems inconsistent. It seems rough and jagged, to those who operate from a space of constant progress and productivity, but it's really not. It's a beautiful creative space to be in. So if you can allow yourself a more free-flowing nature here, I think that's also with this King of Cups, being really playful in the progress that you make. You can make giant strides ahead. So thank you so much, Capricorn. I will see you next month. Be sure to check out the links below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.